I just finished Dragon's Rising Season 2, Part 1, and I have quite a lot of thoughts about it. Most of them are really positive. Most of them. And the thing I'm by far the most excited to talk about right now is Arin, because there is a lot going on with him. I've gotta say, I'm really glad that Season 2 is focusing on Arin. Season 1 was all about Sora and her fears and misbeliefs and her learning to overcome them, and I absolutely love that storyline. I love Season 1, I love Sora. But we didn't learn as much about Arin, so it's very nice to see that Season 2 is shaping up to be more Arin-centric, because that shows me that both of these characters are equally important. The show isn't favoring one over the other. They both get their opportunities to shine. So what I'm going to be talking about with Arin is something I've seen a lot of people bring up. I'm definitely not the only person with this theory, but I want to make my own video about it so I can share all the thoughts I have about it, and also so I can throw in a few comments about just my thoughts on Season 2 overall. So the theory I'm referring to, in case you haven't guessed, is will Arin have a villain arc? People seem to be split on this. Either they're like, yes, obviously he's gonna be a villain, duh, or they're like, no, that's ridiculous, what are you thinking? So here are my thoughts on the matter. Season 2 is drawing this really interesting division between Arin and Sora. It looks almost like they're developing in opposite directions. Like I said, Season 1 was all about Sora and her finding the courage to turn her back on her old life, and she's been a lot more happy and confident since then. But then there's Arin, who's the opposite. He started off Season 1 super optimistic and excited to train with the ninja, full of confidence, but now in Season 2, he's the one doubting himself and questioning his worth. And this is partly because he's comparing himself to Sora. Now that she's become more confident, Sora's getting way better with her elemental powers, and meanwhile Arin, who doesn't have powers, feels like she's overtaking him in terms of skill, and this is making him feel pretty down on himself. But then also beneath that is the fact that they both have different relationships to their pasts. What I mean is, look at the Phantasm Cave scene in episode 3, which, by the way, this was a really cool scene. I like this whole sequence a lot. I am very sad that we didn't get to see Kai's vision, but I digress. Basically what happened is all the ninjas saw some kind of vision showing them their greatest fears, and Arin and Sora both saw things relating to their pasts, but they were opposite. Sora saw these negative figures from her past coming back to haunt her, while Arin saw the people from his past rejecting him and not letting him back into their lives. Unlike Sora, Arin grew up in a good family, so while Sora was more than happy to abandon her home after the merge, Arin wasn't. Losing his parents was really hard on him. And I think this is an interesting contrast. Sora's scared of her past catching up to her, while Arin is scared of never getting back to his. So as time moves forward, it makes sense that Sora will get progressively more comfortable in this new life she's chosen for herself, while Arin will start feeling more worried.
Why haven't you found us, Arin? Are the ninja your family now instead of us? Did you forget us?
What? No! I love you! I miss you!
There was, of course, also the scene in the Season 1 finale where Arin saw his parents in the merge. This seems to be what's triggered his change in outlook, is this reminder that his parents are still out there. In Season 1, they were more of a background concern, but now they're at the forefront of his mind. He is desperate to get his parents back. So this also plays into why he's being so hard on himself. He's started equating the progress he makes in training to the progress he's making in finding his parents. So when he thinks he isn't making progress, it distresses him. He gets in his own head about it, which only further prevents him from improving, because now he's falling into this mindset where he doesn't think he can improve. Now let's take a look at our villains. Lord Roz has obtained the Gong of Shattering, which is linked to these evil wolf masks, and when he hits the gong, it shatters the goodness inside of everyone wearing these masks.
And once you shatter your goodness, you not only get stronger, apparently, you can learn all kinds of evil things.
What kinds of evil things?
Fighting techniques, mystical powers, all the stuff your goodness was holding you back from.
Roz treats goodness like a flaw that needs to be extinguished, or shattered, I guess. This is how he trains Cinder.
I can feel the gong resonate inside me, Lord Raz, shattering the parts of my soul that hold me back.
Compare this to Arin. We saw in Season 1 how he was able to get through to Percival by just being nice to him, being good to him. Whenever Sora felt bad about herself, Arin was there to encourage her. The main difference between him and Empress Beatrix was that while they were both without powers, Beatrix turned jealous and resentful because of it, while Arin stayed good and self-assured. Arin's goodness is one of his biggest strengths, but now he's going through this period of turmoil where he thinks he isn't strong enough or good enough. He keeps suffering losses, he can't master Spinjitzu, he got demoted to Fang ranking, he lost his fight against Roz. So yeah, this scene. Let's talk about this fight scene. Roz confronts Arin and they have this fight, and Roz starts trying to manipulate Arin. He targets his main insecurity, which is that his skills aren't improving, and then he says that Arin could improve if it weren't for the things holding him back.
You could be something special. Too bad the ninja hold you back.
No, they don't! They're making me better!
Then how come you aren't any better? I stopped you as easily now as the first time we met.
Roz is saying that if Arin surrenders being a ninja, or being good, he'll be able to get stronger, learn fighting techniques, and mystical powers.
All the stuff your goodness was holding you back from.
So far, Arin's been failing to master the Spinjitzu fighting technique. Now Roz is showing him another way to get there. Then Roz compares himself to Arin.
I was weak like you once. My master found me and taught me the most important thing in this world. Strength.
The flashback it cuts to shows Roz in what's symbolically a very similar situation to Arin. He has a goal, getting out of this ravine, and he keeps failing. Arin has a goal, improving as a ninja so he can find his parents, and he keeps failing. They both feel hopeless, and Roz describes a remedy to this hopelessness. Strength.
Shatterspin is an obsession with strength. Strength is important, but only fools believe strength is all important. Many things can be more powerful than strength. Intelligence, love, sometimes even kindness.
In Egalt's words, Roz is obsessed with strength. He's ignoring all these other good attributes that make someone powerful. He has a very one-track-minded view of what success looks like, which is similar to Arin. Arin thinks that to be a good ninja, he has to have an elemental power, he has to master Spinjitzu perfectly, and people tell him, no, you don't need those skills, you have your own skills, but he doesn't really listen to them. Side note, I like how this season is showing us so many different fighting styles. You've got hand-to-hand combat like Spinjitzu and Shatterspin, and then there's elemental powers and magic, and even tech is used in combat sometimes. And I think it's cool that they're letting all these concepts we've been introduced to interact with each other. It makes the world feel a lot more real and complete, you know? But anyway, like Roz, Arin is forming a one-track mindset. He thinks there's only one way for him to be powerful, and as he keeps practicing
and failing,
he keeps hitting walls. He feels stuck. But now there's Roz saying, hey, I was stuck somewhere too once, and I got out of it when my master taught me to abandon goodness and relentlessly pursue strength.
Maybe one day you'll find a true master who can teach you the same.
So, is Roz going to convince Arin to put on a wolf mask and shatter his goodness? Is Arin's desperation to find his parents going to push him to that point, where he's willing to make whatever sacrifice it takes to get stronger? That's what I think might cause villain Arin. It won't be him siding with the villains, because he knows they're evil, but it'll be him doing whatever it takes to get his parents back. And because his self-esteem is already dwindling, it'll be pretty easy for Roz to convince him that shattering a part of himself is what it takes. And once Arin puts that mask on, he'll be under Roz's control. I want to bring up Cinder real quick. So he is super cool, I like him a lot. And I don't know if he wants to be evil. There's this shot at the end of episode 2 where Cinder is just standing there, expressionless. But then Roz hits the gong, and then Cinder smiles. And it's like, does Cinder have any free will, or is he just fully under Roz's control? I hope we learn more about him. But my thinking is, will Arin become another Cinder, or another Jordana, another Beatrix, another kid who Roz recruits by exploiting their jealousy? Bro, why does he keep doing this? He has one method of recruiting people. Just find a jealous teenager and rope them into his ranks. I find it funny that Cinder and Jordana keep bickering over who Roz's favorite is, because they're just proving my point. They're continuing to act jealous. Roz exploits jealousy. He sympathizes with people who feel overshadowed, and then says that he sees potential in them, and he can help them reach it. And this could end up manipulating Arin. I expect there to be some kind of fight between Arin and Sora when he learns that he didn't actually use object spinjitzu, and that it was her using her powers. Will this fight result in Arin leaving the team? Maybe? Again, I don't think Arin's going to completely change his views on good and evil and join Roz willingly, but he might decide that if he can't make progress in ninja training, then he should take a shortcut, and this shortcut will of course enable Roz to control him. So there you go, that's kind of my take on the villain Arin theory. I think it's very plausible, I think it's likely where this season is going. However, I do want to suggest something else, the flip side to all of this. What if Arin reforms Roz? You know, instead of Arin becoming a villain, what if he convinces Roz to join the good guys? Like, hear me out. I said earlier that Roz compares himself to Arin. They're both in or have been in situations where they feel stuck. And I feel like this scene exists to make Roz somewhat of a sympathetic villain, right? I'm assuming. I mean, admittedly, we got like no context for it, so it's kind of hard to actually sympathize with him, but maybe we're gonna learn more about Roz's background, and maybe Arin will end up empathizing with him in some way? And he could show Roz how much better his life could be if he allows goodness to be a part of it. So like, instead of Roz saying, we're very similar, you should turn to evil, maybe Arin's gonna say, we're very similar, you should turn to good. You know, like, it could really go either way. I'm just wondering, will Roz successfully manipulate Arin, or will Arin's goodness prevail? Which of those traits between them is stronger? And maybe both these things will happen. Maybe at first Arin will become a villain, but then he'll find his way out of it and reform Roz in the process. I think, given the progressively darker tone this season's been setting up, I think villain Arin is the plotline I most expect to happen, but I don't expect him to stay a villain permanently. Obviously, he's the main character. So maybe if when he turns good again, he'll share what he's learned with Roz, and Roz will become good too? I don't know, this is just me throwing ideas around. I think if there is some kind of Roz redemption arc, it won't be for a while, because there are still a bunch of unanswered questions about this master he's serving. But maybe once we learn more about this master, we'll learn that Roz was manipulated into serving them, like how he manipulated Jordana and Cinder, and is trying to manipulate Arin. And then this master could end up being, like, the main big bad of the series. But again, I don't know, that's just me getting speculative. I think part 1 of season 2 has done a great job establishing a dichotomy between these two characters that fits the tone of the season and has me very intrigued to see what's coming next. Man, I love this more serialized format of Ninjago. It works so well. The stories they're able to tell with it are awesome. And I'm super excited to see where this one's going. So yeah, I mean, feel free to let me know what you think. Villain Arin, Roz redemption, both, neither. I want to hear more people's thoughts. And yep, that is it from me. I will see you guys whenever I next end up seeing you guys. Have a great day, and see ya!